So now I'm going to bring onto our virtual stage Jody Phelan, who's the CEO of HireGood, a social enterprise in Edmonton. And we're really just going to dive into this question of how you can make every purchase count. And really, what we advocate for is that purchasing from social enterprise is the way to get the most value for your dollar, and deliver social value outcomes in addition to the goods and services you need. So, thanks so much, Jody, for being part of this. And welcome. And for folks who are reading the report or going to be reading the report, there's a whole section at the towards the end of the report that spotlights these different contract stories and really demonstrates how social procurement from social enterprise uh, can look in a wide variety of ways, and also um, what the impacts of that are. So, Jody, could you give us a quick introduction to you and to HireGood before we dive into the contract story we're spotlighting today?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for asking me to be on here today. I really appreciate the chance to share about Hire Good. I'm Jody. I'm the CEO of Hire Good. I also run Four Directions Financial here in Edmonton. And Hire Goods, we started about 9 years ago with just a handful of people. And we've continued just to grow and evolve. Our main focus is hiring people experiencing addiction, homelessness, disabilities, just anyone who has a hard time getting a job anywhere. It does not matter. We have quite a heavy uh, Indigenous presence in our workplace, which is really cool. We really appreciate that. We're probably about 70% Indigenous staff here. We find that a lot of our Indigenous peoples here have probably one of the harder times getting a job. And it's just like meeting people kind of where they're at and figuring out what skills they have and stuff like that. There's so many people that have so many beautiful skills that are just not being noticed in our world today.
Absolutely, yeah. And you're a really great example of an enterprise that does that inclusive employment so well and has been really successful at it. The contract we're spotlighting today comes obviously from our 2024 data, but this was an open solicitation that you won with the city of Calgary, so expanding into a new market from Edmonton, um, to provide public washroom management. And I think what's interesting to note is that this was one where the city of Calgary had a 10% weighting for social value criteria on the bid, which is part of what enabled you to win this contract, in addition to all the great work that you do, your quality of service, etc. So I'd love to hear just from you a bit more about the process of that contract. How was social procurement helpful in the process of bidding and ultimately winning this open solicitation?
Well, this is probably one of our prouder moments in with Higher Good is like finally seeing the city recognize how important social enterprise is and putting the value on the bid. That was super important to us. And we try to tell everyone all the time, like it's like there's nothing better than hiring a group like Hire Good. We're hiring people who are struggling on our streets, and then we're able to get them trained and to provide a service to all the citizens in a city. Like there's just nothing more valuable than that. It was great. We beat out quite a few companies in the process. It was a nail biter for quite a while. But we got to put in all, like we were able to add in like what we do in the value, what we do for the community, all those kind of achievements that we have, where sometimes there's no place for that. Yeah, and the day we got the calls, it was just the most super exciting thing. And to be able to get into Calgary was huge. It's like, okay, we're starting to make a difference. People are noticing the social enterprise and what we're doing. And then we're able to go to Calgary and work, beside the mustard seed and with partners there and getting people back into the workforce that haven't been in there for a long time. But this meant the world to us. The city of Calgary, they were excellent. They treat us like gold. I like could not say like enough good things about them, and so we're just hoping to get bigger and expand. And we do know that the reason why this was put on there is because of the work that Social did with the city of Calgary to say like this is important and to bring awareness. And that was really important to us because I can stand on my soapbox all day long and sing it, but we need other people, trying to support it as well to say like this is really important. And it's just a win-win situation for everyone. I just want to get it out there and so people can see the value of, giving contracts to hire good. I mean, we're not funded in any way by the government. We work for our dollars and we're getting people off income support. We're getting people, sustained long-term housing. It's just there's so much value.
Yeah. And really, that social return on investment goes back to what Neve mentioned about the wraparound supports that social enterprises provide too, which often isn't funded and comes out of your bottom line and make what you do possible. And I think for folks who don't know the kind of washroom management programs, you've done this in Edmonton as well, where there's actually real value in the people that you have on staff having that lived experience because they're able to interact with community in a very different way and really support safer environments for everyone to
Yeah, everything we do, like from litter picking to our safety attendant program to our washroom program is relationship building with people on the streets. And so we already have that upper hand when we come out to a facility where there's a person maybe causing a disruption and we go up and like, Jimmy, no, time to go. And so, and even in Edmonton, people already know, oh, hire goods there. Oh, we got to follow the rules. Because the one
Yeah.
thing is we demand in our spaces is you have to be respectful to our staff and respectful to us and you're going to be able to use whatever facility you have. Like we're always going to be there to help, but we
Yeah.
also all of our team is like they're firm, they can de-escalate, but they're not going to be pushed around either. And it saves so many resources from the fire department to the police to EMS, all of that, and we can just handle all those little minor disturbances um around. And then in Calgary, like with the public washrooms too, is, sometimes there's a lot of people hanging around and, a mom wants to go in and change her baby and maybe she doesn't feel too safe. And we're able to navigate that for her and be like, no, we're here and we're going to make sure you're okay. And
Yeah.
another really cool thing we kind of saw was relationships we didn't expect to be built was behind, a senior who walks by the washrooms every day. And then he starts talking to Jimmy, who hangs out of the bathroom every day, and they would have never met before. And
Mhm.
we're kind of building those relationships because regardless if that's your neighborhood and you have a house or you don't have a house, that's still your neighborhood, right?
Yeah,
It's connecting people in that way. So a lot of beautiful things come out of the different contracts we've had with Higher Good is just connecting people.
absolutely. And so this kind of contract, like public safety management, washroom management, we have actually another case study in the report from Radicare Ventures, also in Calgary, about doing some washroom management through their social enterprise. But is there any advice you can give other purchasers who are looking to replicate these kinds of contracts anywhere in Canada?
Well, I just think like if you look at us, Harrogate's quite a conservative group, and I think that's another thing that we had to get out there for ourselves is we're not another outreach team, we're not another nonprofit, we're not, we are doing things with a purpose, right? And it's to have safer, cleaner streets. And
Hmm.
so every city right now, of course, is experiencing there's opioid overdoses, there's everything, like every single city. And if you can get higher, get out there, they know the people, we calm social disorder in every spot. And you're paying so many different people are giving money and funding and all these different resources when we actually have proof and data that we can get into a space and within a couple weeks we make it cleaner, we make it safer. So, and we're doing our safety attendant program too, so we're taking over quite a bit of security contracts.
Hmm.
So you're not paying for someone to be terrified hiding in a corner. We're out there interacting with the community. These are the rules. There's businesses out in downtown Edmonton too. They're trying to make a living, but they can't have 100 people in front of their door because then other people, don't feel comfortable coming in. So, and I just there's just so much to it. Like, you're taking one person off the street, you're getting them employed, we're providing a service. It's a beautiful cycle. And we're starting to hit more of the private companies and get away a little bit from government as well and say, like, this is what we can do for you. Give us a try, or we'll support you with your security and you can see what you can have,
Hmm.
and with security too, we find a lot of those guards are scared. They're maybe put not into their best environments. So we really want to hit that up too and really tell people like how important it is, like when you buy social, like especially when it comes to higher good and who we are, it's like right there you're making a change. Everyone wants to change the world and help with safety of your city and all that stuff. Well, you just hire us and you're already doing your part.
Hmm. I love that. Um, to wrap up, can you share one story of a benefit to community that's come out of this contract in Calgary?
Well, I would say like just for like community or one of our staff, or what would you like me to tell you like about more?
What comes to mind first? Maybe your staff.
I think with our staff, we have a young girl there, and she's the mom of three children, and she is new to the city of Calgary and not knowing the expenses and stuff like that. And we brought her on board, and she's so beautiful. Like every single week, I swear we get like an email from just a citizen of Calgary. Oh my God, this girl is amazing. She's so wonderful. She makes me feel welcome. And then people just coming there just to see her. But um, the mom come and she's another mom, and these two started connecting and talking, and then they started going for coffee. And this person was like so alone, and actually she just needed some help too, like a mentor with some parenting skills and stuff. And this woman that kept coming by, they connected so much over this year that she like mentored her so well, like she got full custody back of her children. And that's probably one of my favorite stories there, is because we do have people that come in from homelessness or maybe from drug addiction and stuff, and they do have to get their children back, or they do have to get their life back and their rental back. And that's probably one of my favorite stories out of there, is just that this woman just kind of took her under her wing, and now they're having play dates. She's got all her children back with her. um it's just a wonderful story. And we have hundreds and hundreds of stories,
Hmm.
honest to God, that are success
Hmm.
stories. And then
Yeah.
I love here too, when we moved into this neighborhood, people weren't super happy because we have the bank attached to it. But within 3 months, we were able to help calm social disorder around our space, around our whole street. And we'd pick litter every day, we make it spotless. And then I walked in, and these people were going to politicians and saying like, we can't have these people here. They're drawing in vulnerable people and all this. And then I walked in, he just looked at me, he's like, I love Higher Good. You guys are awesome. And I was like, oh my God, if I could change this person's mind after
Yeah.
all the emails he sent to city council and to EPS and stuff like that, I was like, we're winning. We're winning.
Yeah.
We're showing him. And we've taught him, his team, and all the businesses around us, like, we're here to do good, to change. We're going to change for the better. And
Yeah.
we can still serve the vulnerable population and treat them with dignity without affecting your business in any way. So that was
Absolutely.
one of my biggest accomplishments this year too. I was like, all right, if I can change a hater's mind, I'm all for it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Jody, for sharing a bit about what you do and the incredible impact you have on communities in Alberta. I think it's really an amazing example of what's possible, and especially when the purchaser puts those social value criteria in, weights it as part of their evaluation, really takes that seriously and standardizes it. And I know Tori shared a link to the City of Calgary's procurement program in the chat as well for folks who are interested in looking at that more. Um, I'm going to share also just one other, like, there's so many other great stories of social procurement from social enterprise that we've included in our report, including direct awards for fulfillment of materials on the National Moose Hide campaign with Mother Earth Recycling in Winnipeg, and a B2B purchase from a private company to hold their team retreat at Fogo Island Inn in Newfoundland, and many more. And I have one other story to spotlight. So I'm just gonna get this ready. Um, SPICE, the Solar Power Investment Cooperative of Edmonton, and NAWO Global Energy are pioneering a community-powered approach to clean energy infrastructure development by combining ethical investment, local collaboration, and hands-on training. And in a recent project last year, SPICE coordinated the installation of a solar array on the roof of the Bissell Center, which is an Edmonton nonprofit that supports low-income residents. And this initiative was fully financed by Spice Co-op members who chose to invest in community-owned renewable energy. It also created a training pathway for clients of the Bissell Center. And it was a real collaborative approach that demonstrates how community investment, social enterprise expertise, and local training can intersect to generate environmental, social, and economic value. and it shows what's possible when clean energy solutions are designed not just for community benefit, but with community participation at their core. So I'm going to share a quick video from them talking about this more, uh, and then we'll continue on.
The Wheat in Abundance project is meant to accomplish three main aims. The first is to provide nonprofits and charities in Alberta the opportunity to engage in energy retrofits at little to no cost. The second is to provide those with barriers to employment the opportunity to gain the skills and experience they need to thrive in the emerging energy industry. And the third, most importantly, is so that all of us can participate in the planetary stewardship that will enable a beautiful world for generations to come.
SPICE's role is to be the financing facilitator. We bring in the investors that give the money to make this project happen. We own the project and we lease it to the Bissell Center, who has the full benefit. And after the lease period of 10 years, they own the system.
Right now we are doing hands-on. That's very fantastic. I'm enjoying it, and we'll see what the future holds. I want to encourage everyone to get involved in solar, renewable, because of the climate change and the global warming. Solar is not too expensive, so don't be afraid. Go for it, and you'll enjoy in the future.
We want to make a difference for the environment, but also a difference for our community. So in the social component and the training component, we bring in Bissell's workforce, allow them to learn on the job, to get an idea of what the solar installation work would look like, and potentially continue into that work stream for long term. And that's another part that comes together. SPICE as facilitating project is going to try to get a constant stream of projects in so that the people that we train on this are going to be having a chance to be employed in this as well afterwards.
At the heart of the Wheaton project is a feeling of energy abundance. With this feeling, we recognize the enormous gifts we have, both individually and as a society. With such a recognition of abundance, our gifts naturally flow, and with that flow, we begin to protect everything that needs protecting, give comfort to those who need comfort, and allow our gifts to shine for generations to come.
Please buy a lot of these, and we can install them for you.
I love that story and video so much. Such a great example of what's possible